Please give me screen sharing. Okay, got it.
Yeah, give it, sir.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now, so this is the design for sustainability. Very important. I think we need to look at it in every walks of our life. Okay. Global warming and resource depletion, solid waste, water pollution, air pollution, land degradation, everywhere it's impacting us. So, you know, so the plastic, I can see the plastic bottle there. How much we are contributing to the, environment when we have plastic water bottle? Why do we need it? So somebody asked this a wonderful question. We have water everywhere, but we carry water bottles, and that too plastic water bottles. So I have taken a decision. I don't buy water bottles. I don't use water bottles. These water bottles are, manufactured somewhere, and it is processed water is put in there. And I don't know how long that is there, put in there. And then it goes through all the heat and cold variations, and how much micro particles go into our system. And that's the biggest challenge we are facing. So one way you can do
that
is,
plastic is carcinogenic.
yeah. So we can buy, steel water bottles. You carry from home.
Sir, we made compulsory in the campus that everyone should use the steel bottles.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, great. Now there is another aspect. We have about 7 billion people now, and 2050 that will be 9 billion people. Now there are certain communities shrinking, certain communities not shrinking or increasing. This is not good for community, our environment. Making sure future generations live well within the resource limits of our planet will require a major shift in thinking. Sustainability means people living well and within the resource limits of the planet. So 2 planets of resources needed by 2030 at the rate of consumption. This is mentioned by Paul Polman, CEO of Unilever. So we would require 2 planets to supply the resources we need and to absorb our waste. And Living Planet Report, Worldwide Fund for Nature also says 2 Earths are required by 2030 to sustain world population. And if you look at every food wasted is water wastage. If you have to have a fruit or vegetable at our table, how much water is required during its cultivation, harvesting, transportation, cleaning, and all that, or air conditioning. So say no to food waste. So 30% of fruits and vegetables are rendered unfit for consumption due to spoilage after harvesting. So in February, I was in Indonesia, in a village called Malang. Malang is derived from Sanskrit word, Malangeshwara. Mala meaning, bad, or bad. And then the Ishwara, which really kills that Mala, is Malangeshwara and Malang. And there, in one market, that's not the biggest market, one of the average markets per day, 2 to 3 tons of vegetable wastage alone. So you can imagine. And there are hundreds of thousands of such markets. So how much is the wastage? So you can look at our own villages, how much wastage is there. Students can take up that project. You can have innovative ways to really do it. So people use pickaxe or some tool to really harvest above the ground, under the ground, and how these produce is getting damaged during harvesting. and after which, how much it is damaged. So you have to have mechanisms to manage that. Some produce require air conditioning. Some require temperature control. So there is a very interesting solution. It's long back. This photograph is, I think, at least 20 plus years old. Chotu Cool, economic effective portable cooling solution. And in that, they used to put their produce and take it on bullock cart. That is an extreme situation. Now, we need to understand this. There is what is known as the global wealth pyramid. The top of the pyramid, just below that, the middle part and the bottom. And the bottom is, is the bottom of the economic pyramid. And we have to have what is known as frugal innovation or frugal engineering, which was coined by Carlos Ghosn, Joint Chief of Renault and Nissan Auto Majors. It's a process of reducing the complexity and cost of goods or services without sacrificing quality. This is what Nano has done to a certain extent, to a large extent, and making it affordable. Affordability is very important. So Tata Nano made Tata Nano affordable to common man. If you buy a bike, a family travels in the bike, a bike costs 70,000 to 80,000, less than 1 lakh. And then the original concept was to have Tata Nano basic design available for 1.25 lakhs. Of course, it might have changed. So it is affordable, made affordable. So frugal engineering, making it affordable to all, minimize consumption of resources during design, development, and production. So this is a washing machine. There are 50, 60 wash programs if you take all the permutations and combinations to suit variety of dirty clothes, including rare ones. I may not have a rare cloth, and typically requires more materials and labor, leading to overall higher cost for the machine during production, including design. And true to many other areas of human activities, you can see that everywhere. So only 2 or 3 standard programs are used or activated, leaving the remaining tens of them unused. So why do I pay for it? So that is a global wastage. So design for environment is a method to minimize or eliminate environmental impacts of the product over its life cycle. That practice maintains or improves product quality and cost while reducing environmental impacts. And it expands traditional manufacturers' focus on the production and distribution of the products to a closed-loop life cycle system. And this is very important. So design for environment, you have to really consider at various stages: planning, concept development, system level, detailed design, testing, refinement, and production ramp up. Again, there is a flow chart. Set the agenda for design for environment. Identify potential environmental impacts. Select materials and DIFE guidelines. Apply them in the initial design. See the impact on the environment. Compare the goals. If it's not sufficient, redefine. If okay, reflect and proceed. So if you look at materials used for production, distribution and use, and eventually disposed back, this is a product life cycle. Now, quantifies environmental impact over product life cycle is required, quantification. So steps for life cycle assessment is prepare processed design options, identify life cycle, including recycling and disposal. Identify all materials and energy sources used. Identify outputs and waste streams. Quantify impacts on each material, energy, and waste, and aggregate that. Now, there is a natural biocycle, then there is an industrial product life cycle. So you deposit the disposal, natural decay happens, resources are extracted, and you have the natural bicycle. This has its own time constant. Now, industrial product life cycle is much faster. So you extract, recover materials, produce, distribute, use, recover. This goes. And remanufacturing happens. Reuse also happens. Disposal also happens. And post-consumer recycling also happens. Post-industrial recycling also happens. All those are there. There are two life cycles. But the issue is, you cannot put toxic into the biocycle. You cannot put inorganics into the biocycle. And you have to be very mindful of using renewable resources, and non-renewable resources shouldn't be used. Now, why all the conflicts happen in the world? I don't want to name the countries because of these resources. So if you look at the mobile phones, there are rare earth metals. And some of these rare earth metals, 90% of that is controlled by a particular country in the world. You may search for it. And people are going to the waters, bottom of the oceans, to find billions of years old ingots, to find the rare earth metals. Recently, there were lithium found in wide, big quantity in India, in Kashmir somewhere, and some other place. That is required for electric vehicles or electric, battery. So these are all the impact on the world politics and control over resources. So conditions for sustainability, you have to consider Earth as a closed system, limited solar input, natural biocycles. Solar energy and other renewable fuels are sustainable. So go for more of that. And your resource usage must balance the rate at which Earth creates each resource, even the rate at which the Earth creates fossil fuels. Otherwise, we cannot sustain. Toxic waste, heavy metals, radiation, other molecular garbage must be eliminated because they are not part of the biocycle. So there are some guidelines. Do not combine materials incompatible for recycling. Label all components materials for recycling. Enable easy reassembly into separate material recycling streams. Use no surface treatments because the chemicals will be put on that. Then you have to remove those chemicals to reuse. Eliminate packaging. Now with COVID, a lot of packaging is happening. Food, how much is happening? Reduce weight and size of shipping so that carbon footprint can be reduced. Example material guidelines: use recycled or recyclable industrial materials, natural materials which can be returned to biological decay cycles to be used. Use processes which do not require toxic materials. Capture and reuse all hazardous materials. Now you look at two aspects. This is the unibody designed by Apple. They take a solid aluminum alloy, they subtractive manufacturing to remove so that they don't need fasteners and assembly. And the other one is a car which has got a lot of parts, moving parts, hundreds of them. And while they manufacture, how these differences will be there. So if you look at the unibody design of Apple, material usage, manufacturing time, a lot of carbon footprint. Again, recovery also requires. But while using, it's less. While production, yes, high. Distribution also. And if you look at a car, automobile, while you use, a lot of things move, a lot of carbon footprint is left. So there are, products of this extreme condition. Now, when we have electric vehicle, during the use, it will reduce the carbon footprint. But you make electricity somewhere, solar panels somewhere, batteries somewhere. There you need energy. And what kind of energy you use? Are fossil fuels used? whether carbon footprint is created more. So that is an issue. Now, there is Herman Miller's environmental goals, perfect vision, zero landfill, zero hazardous waste generation, zero air emissions, zero process water use, 100% green electrical use, 100% sales and DFE designed for environment products. Now that minimum LEED silver certification. We have one building of architectural and design and architectural engineering, which is zero carbon footprint. So it generates electricity and doesn't really leave any carbon footprint, and it is LEED certified. So if you look at a chair, so you can choose to buy what kind of produce you want to have, products you want to buy. So here, this is a Setu multi-purpose chair. Environment friendly and non-toxic materials by percentage, 40% aluminum, 41% polypropylene, 18% steel by weight. Recyclable materials, 40%, 44 by weight, 23 post-consumer, 21 post-industrial. They define all this. Less material content, 20 lbs lighter, easy to disassemble, 86% easy separable materials, recyclable, 92% by weight. Production line uses 100% green power. So material chemistry, fraction of the materials by weight, you can really indicate safe, hazardous, uncertain, or high hazardous, okay, for the environment. And also fraction of the recyclable content. Next slide will show that. Disassembly, recyclability. So materials chemistry, 33.3, recyclable content, disassembly, recyclability. For each and every product, you can try to look at it. And this helps a lot. So you're conscious of it. And if you're conscious of it, whether something you can reduce, how much you can reduce in terms of high hazard, okay? And how much you can reduce in terms of not feasible aspects, okay? And for example, Nike, they try to put certain goals for all new products to be developed using its considered design standards, footwear by 2011, clothing by 2015, equipment by 2020. And they looked at it. They brought it in to their design process. And this nobody might have seen long back. Samsung had reclaimed mobile phone, biopolymer casing, recycled paper packaging, printed with soya-based ink, online instruction manual, Energy Star rated. Nobody cares about it. If the users are not aware of it, they will not buy it. If the demand is not there, they will not produce it. It's our responsibility to support such products. So be conscious of products which are more environmental friendly. Now, in my childhood, we used to use, we never use spoons. I reduced using spoons. So in childhood, my mother or my aunts go to the yard, look at a jackfruit tree, take its leaf, you fold it and put a, the stem, or not the stem, I don't know what the actual name, for the coconut tree, the leaves, its middle part. They cut it and they insert it, and then you have a kind of a, thing to really take your food, whether it is rice porridge or rice, right? Or milk. Now, recently I saw in social media, in UK, they have found new ways of recyclable thing, exactly the same thing 50 years back our ancestors were using leaves. Now we have plates, spoons made of, arachnet, plants. The part which gels with its stem, there is a long part, and that can be used. So we can make a conscious effort to do that. So another aspect is in the design of Eco Guide for Ford. So it provides engaging feedback to drivers, improving fuel economy. So when I was in NIT Calicut at that time, REC Calicut, there was in civil engineering, if I remember, or mechanical, I may be wrong, a test for efficiency of driving. And my senior professor, who was driving for almost 20 plus years at that time, he took the test and he was found to be a worse driver. And my one of the PhD scholars who never learned driving, never done driving, she started driving and she was found to be better. So we have certain ways when to apply brake, how to apply brake, how early, how late, at what rate. All this will impact the fuel efficiency, usage, and see how many humps are there on our roads. All those are leading to more use of oil. How many potholes are there on our roads? All those will increase fuel usage, then foreign currency usage. That's why infrastructure building is very important. That's what is happening in India now. Very good roads everywhere, 6 lanes. And also, if you have uh, traffic jams, how much fuel is wasted? So by having good infrastructure, we reduce traffic jams, we reduce oil. Changing driving behavior. So design for environment for simple life rules, design products or processes with industrial materials that can be recycled continuously with no loss in performance, thereby creating new industrial materials. Natural materials to use, fully that can be returned to Earth's natural cycles. And do not produce unnatural toxic materials. Clean renewable energy sources to use. This is hard. This is important. This is our responsibility. This is a great opportunity for businesses, entrepreneurs, scientists, engineers, designers, and researchers. I'll tell you one example. A particular, if you look at milk packaging industry, how much waste they have. So if I remember correctly, in Palakkad, there is a Milma, and they have a particular kind of waste from the milk, white in structure stuff. And if you don't use it properly, it will really impact the environment. So what they did is you take it free, or you pay to, instead of spending money on managing that, you pay money for another company to make use of it, convert into manure. And that's the way it has to happen. So much such things are happening. If you take part in Shodh Yatra, which happens in summer and winter times across India by National Innovation Council, and you can see amazing things happening in India. And LEED certification is one. The way we think about how buildings and communities can be designed, constructed, maintained, and operated. So it's a green building certification program. So in your civil engineering, you can incorporate these kinds of things. I don't know how much you are doing it, but you have to reiterate it. You have to say about all these things in all your, whether it is electrical, electronics, computer, mechanical, civil, pharmacy, or whatever it is, you can put it across. Now, this is a very important image. Think of it. It is in our part of the world. One well. Everybody is trying to collect water. And the human population is using Earth's resources faster than the planet can support. And the next world war can be for water and other resources. That's happening. Very careful about this. In my village, I can see peacocks coming to my house. We have so much peacock feathers in our house. My wife has collected. Why peacocks come there? They don't get water in the forest. And a lot of elephants come out and damage. Why? They don't have the water. And people are going to such places. Now, what happens? Now, my family was farmers, were farmers at that time. Now, all our lands are not used. In Kerala, it's a very bad condition because we all want to become engineers, scientists, doctors, office working people, and we don't go to the paddy fields. And paddy is a very important part of our environment. You plow, you turn the oil up and down, air circulation and water, and you maintain a water bed in each and every paddy field across the board for multiple months of a year, 2 times or 3 times in a year, for each duration for 3 months or 4 months. So you can imagine how much water is maintained, evaporated, and absorbed by the soil. And it is distributed and it is made available in different pockets within the earth. Now, when this paddy is not used for paddy cultivation, the surface becomes hardened. When it rains, absorption rate comes down. Then water flows and flows to the river, to the ocean. And that is depleting the water level in our earth, on our earth. And now in my childhood, I used to see water continuously flowing, many places. Now you have to dig deep. So the depth of the well, kitchen well, has increased, and you cannot get water now. And people go for the tubular, water well as well. All these are depleting our resources, and we are not mindful about it because we are after money. Money makes a difference. I want to make money. I want to have a better house. I want to have education for my children. And I want to travel. I want to have AC. I want to have X, Y, Z. But we forget about the Mother Earth. So civilization will end. Study carried out by NASA looks grim for industrial society. It was done in 2014. Collapse can be avoided and population can reach equilibrium if per capita rate of depletion of nature is reduced to a sustainable level and if resources are distributed in a reasonable, equitable fashion. So I like to say we have to be frugal, avoiding waste, in particular the expenditure of money or use of materials. Let us have a life which is frugal and simple. So I like to stop here. And any comments, any questions, clarifications? Today we have finished. I ended 15 minutes ahead.
Yes.
We have two more, one on project management and human side of project management, 2 sessions. And so we can finish in 2 sessions. That
One
means,
is on 17th and another is on 3rd of or something July, no, sir? You had given the dates.
Yeah, 24th June, I cannot. Okay.
Okay, 17th June and 1st July.
First July, correct.
Yeah.
So we can stop with 2 sessions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And yeah, I don't know whether you need another session to really relook at everything. You let me know, and then
sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
So today's session, I like it that creating the awareness about amongst the society regarding the environmental friendly usage of the material is very important.
Yes.
And through such sessions, it will be possible. Basically, through the students, it is need to be transmitted.
Yeah, because we have to have the continuity. So my father's grandfather might have conveyed that to my grandfather, and then my grandfather might have transferred to my father, and then my grandmother to me, and I had to pass it on. So it's our responsibility. Most times we are carried away by this politics. Even each and every text message requires so much of carbon footprint, because each and every text message, the good morning, thumbs up, down, all kinds of things, it has it if you want to send it from your device, the device battery is utilized, Wi-Fi is utilized, and then WhatsApp or Facebook in a server continuously running for millions of users. How much energy is required? Have you gone to a server center?
Yeah.
They cool their CPU with water.
Mm-hmm.
That's a level of heat generated.
Getting generated in server
Yes.
room also.
Yes. And then all these undersea cables, satellites, all the access points, Wi-Fi access points, everywhere, how much energy is being used? Carbon footprint is being created. So what
Sir,
I
can
do
you
is,
please take one session on the carbon footprint separately?
okay. I'll prepare that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
sure.
July,
We
one
got
issue
tuned
is,
with your all gesture, posture, and accent. So we will be happy to have a session from your end.
yeah. So after July 1st, I'm traveling. I'm going to India. I don't know whether I can come there. But
Sir, we are waiting for you.
okay, I'll let you know. And then 8th, 15th, 22nd July, I'll be in India. So
Okay.
we can say carbon footprint, I'll keep it in mind. Vidya Ji, I will do that. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. And if possible, if you are in the India, in the college, in our institute, we will have that session physically.
Okay.
If possible.
Yeah. In that case, which day is possible for you in July?
What dates you said?
I land in Kerala on 6th July night.
Okay.
And actually, I have something to do in the later part of my visit, because I'm producing a new movie. I have to preview that.
Oh,
So
great.
in the first part of it, in the beginning of my trip, I can come there. So it'll be good to come 7th or 8th or 9th or 10th. What will be better? Because I think from
All
Bombay
dates
airport.
are fine with us. All dates are fine with us. You suggest your date. I'm out of it.
Okay. From Bombay airport, I have to travel by 10 hours, right?
From Pune airport, you need to travel with 4 hours.
Okay. Can you send me the address of your institute?
Yes, sir.
And the Pune, then I will, I will work on it. So I need to see the connection to Pune, because I don't know whether we get direct connection. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll work on that. So maybe 8 to 11, there may be, or that week, 9 to 15, I can think of coming for a couple of days, and then we'll see. I'll let you know, Vidyaji.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Any other comments? Any questions? Suggestions?
Hi.
Hi.
So I have very, when I say question, very good question.
No, not clear, not clear. Can you come closer to the microphone, please?
I'm audible now?
Yeah,
Can
I
sir,
think.
Put off the mechanical beat, mute it and talk from the another mobile or somewhere else.
I think from the ambience, it is. I mean,
Yeah, it may be.
Yeah.
It may be.
Yeah. Or you can type it, please.
It will be better. Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now. Is it clear now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah. The question is regarding food wastage at hostel.
Food wastage and?
At hostels, means student hostel.
Can you type the student?
Better you type this. Your voice is not clear.
Food at hostel level. Yeah, this is very important. So there are, different aspects of it. One, students, this we study, okay? We look into this very seriously. And one aspect is, the most important aspect is, there are different kinds of people who require different kinds of food. And if you make them in one bulk, they may not, the law of diminishing marginal utility, you cannot keep on eating the same. So you have to have variety. So one way is that whether you can have variety. So when I was in IIT Madras, the hostels had variety of food on different days, and it was very good. The other is, instead of one particular group of people making the food and serving, have different outlets, and then people can choose what they want to buy. So we have that. So in the Gurukula, what I have 12 stalls, and do different stalls. We negotiate, we give it free rental so that they'll reduce the cost per meal, or breakfast or lunch or dinner. And then we make sure that the cleanliness is there. We make sure that the quality is there. Even if one complaint, we act on it. Okay. So you need to see whether multiple food options are there or not. Weight of yesterday's food. Yeah, this is one part of it. The other part is that, when you know that, when food is getting wasted, whether it can be given to people who require it. So you don't waste it, you use it for something else. So when I have a feast in my house, or for wedding and all, we'll evaluate by 11:30, 12 noon, whether there'll be wastage or we have to make more. So sometimes actually we will not make full, okay, especially rice and major items. We reduce the production to start with, and we make it for 75% capacity. And then as it goes, in the first 1 hour, we make more. Okay, that is another one. And then we give it to the nearby hospitals and other places. This is very good. So you can put a total weight of yesterday's food wastage, but people will, because if you keep on seeing it, nobody will care about it. That's a law of diminishing marginal returns. So I think the variety, one part at the source, and then making it aware, the impact of it multiple times, that has to be put it across, and that has become part of the culture. So at home, in the public spaces, in the classrooms, in food outlets, how much we can. We can also put this food in a fridge for people to use, free. You give it free. So here there is an outlet, bread outlet. At certain time, 7 p.m., they give all the food to the old age homes, whatever is left over. So you can have such ways to really manage. In Thrissur, Kerala, before COVID, they used to put a small fridge and they keep the food there. Anybody can take it free. So we can use it. Yeah. I think 1 minute we'll be closing. And I think Vidyaji, there is a direct flight, okay? And 2 hours from Kochi to Pune. So I'll try to book, and I'll try to bring my son also. Yeah,
sure.
So you send me the details, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll not continue once this session ends. Okay? Thank you very
sir.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.